Hello and welcome everyone to the 2021 customer webinar. We're going to give people a few more moments to join and then we will get started. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me okay. So if someone wants to put into the chat and confirm that you can hear and see the screen, that would be perfect. Thank you so much. Hello and welcome everyone to the 2021 customer webinar. My name is Mary and I will be hosting with my colleague Craig today. We're going to get started in just a few moments. We want to give a couple more minutes for people to join and we'll kick off our webinar very shortly. Thank you for your patience and we're excited to share some updates with you.
Okay, we're gonna get started. So thank you everyone for joining today, as Mary said. My name's Craig Chanoff, and I'm the Chief Customer Officer at Everfi. And over the last 18 months, we've really worked tirelessly to move about 2,000 of our partners to our next generation platform we call Foundry. This platform was designed to help the administrators really support the dozens of courses that Everfi has to create safer and healthier communities and workplaces. We're committed to ensuring you have the content, the data, and the administrative tools you need to successfully deploy our technology. We know Foundry has taken time for Everfi to develop and for our administrators to learn, and we genuinely appreciate the partners who have given us feedback along the way as we have continued to enhance the technology. I'm pleased to have so many attendees on today's webinar across all of our partnerships. Everfi hasn't really done a technical webinar like this before that is focused on the administration of our platform. We want your feedback on if you find this valuable. There will be more enhancements coming on our products throughout the year, and we want to know what the best medium is to get this info to our community. At the end of the session today, you'll receive an email with a recording and an opportunity to provide your input. And with that said, I'm going to turn things over to Mary, who's going to walk us through today's topics.
Thank you, Craig. And again, welcome everyone to the webinar. As we walk through the webinar, we're going to give you some updates. There is a question box in the GoToWebinar panel. Please feel free to include your questions as we move through the different portions of the webinar. We'll probably hold responses for the end. We have a Q&A section, but if there's a question I can address as we're going through, I certainly will. We're excited to take some time to share the recent and upcoming enhancements to the technology, courses, and customer experience enhancements that you will utilize each time you interact with Everfi. Collectively, these updates influence your entire experience with Everfi. We understand that deploying Everfi courses is only a portion of your job. Our goal is to ensure that the technology allows you to do this in a scalable and efficient way. The content is top-notch, and when you require support, you can access it easily and quickly. So let's get started with the platform technology enhancements. Everfi is focused on creating a tool that allows you as an administrator to easily implement courses to your learners for maximum impact with minimal effort on your part. Today, we'll focus on 3 different platform enhancements that our team is working on: UX design, actionable dashboards, and the assignment console. Each of these areas of the platform were selected as an area of focus for 2021 based off of your feedback. As a part of our goal to make the platform scalable and efficient, we worked over the last few years to create a platform which focuses on just that. As a note, all of the enhancements you're going to hear about today will be implemented on Foundry, our new platform. If you are on one of Everfi's legacy platforms, such as Law Room or Workplace Answers, we highly recommend reaching out to the Everfi team to start the process of migrating over to Foundry. We will be following up with an email that provides information and steps to start the process after the webinar. The new platform leverages the latest technology to create a more seamless administrative experience, increase opportunities for customization, and greater access to data and reporting. Some features are new, such as the customizable login portal, which will allow you to brand the page for your learners, or automated assignments. Automated assignments allow you to preset an assignment to send to learners based on a certain criteria. Other features, like invitations, received enhancements. Not only can you customize invitations, but you can save and reuse them for your next assignment. Talk about a time saver. Through real-time dashboards that aggregate usage and survey data, decision makers will have the ability to identify improvements in focus areas, report on compliance, and tell a powerful impact story. As we continue to enhance the platform features, you'll hear about these updates that we make to improve your daily workflow. We're excited about the platform and have seen so much success for our customers who are already utilizing it. Here we can see a quick before. The first enhancement that I want to talk about is UX design. What you see on the screen are the updated visuals, many of which are already reflected within the platform. The design changes were focused on making Foundry more consistent, more user-friendly, and accessible. So what does all that mean? You can expect that when an action is required on your part, such as creating an assignment or configuring a course, the button to begin that action is located in a similar place from page to page. You shouldn't have to search the page to find what you're looking for. Another small but impactful change is the placement of the filters. By moving the filters, the team is able to provide more space on the page for the important information that you as an administrator are looking to view. Here you can see a quick before and after snapshot of the changes to the view. This is the same screen, but the filters have moved and the buttons have been updated. By moving the filters to the top, the administrator has more space to view the user details. While these updates may feel minor, when combined, they make a world of difference in your experience and interactions within the platform. Over the course of 2021, we will continue to invest in the look and feel of Foundry and your interactions with the tools. The next update is a brand new feature. Today, when an administrator logs into Foundry, you're immediately brought to the reports dashboard. The intention here was that customers would be interested in viewing their learner progress and consuming insights each time they log in. With the feedback of our customers, Everfi has found that not every administrator is logging in to the platform to check progress. We want to ensure that you have a holistic view of the current health of your prevention and training programs. We also want to ensure quick access to the resources you need when you log in, and that Everfi is providing insights to you as an administrator beyond progress. The new Actionable dashboard will provide an overview of your learner's progress, but it will also provide you with additional actions you can and should take. The dashboard will provide a to-do list. An example of an action you might see could be that an assignment is past due with outstanding learners. When you see that to-do, you may want to reach out to those learners and send a quick reminder. You'll also see any recent activity in your account, which is especially helpful if you have more than one administrator in your account. You can see what actions have been taken most recently. And finally, there will be an announcement section. Currently in Foundry, when Everfi sends an announcement, a banner is placed across the top of the screen. When the announcement is closed by clicking on the X, you, as an administrator, are not able to review the announcement again. With the addition of the announcement section, you can view all announcements and review the content as needed. Overall, the Actionable dashboard is being built to ensure that you have a central area to take action and continue to track impact. The final portion of the platform that I'd like to share today is surrounding the assignment console and how you, as an administrator, interact when creating and distributing content through assignments. Foundry requires administrators to create assignments in order to distribute your content, much like Law Room or Workplace Answers. While the process of creating an assignment can be very simple, we did receive feedback in a few areas of concern. In order to address the assignment enhancements, we released a new feature called training periods. Training periods increase flexibility and simplify retraining to your learners. They are also tied to new features coming in the second half of the year. To dive a little deeper, what I mean by increased flexibility is that when an administrator creates an assignment currently on the old logic and the assignment has been sent out to learners, the ability to adjust the assignment settings is limited. With the new features being released, administrators will have more flexibility in making updates once the assignment is live. The second area of feedback was around duplicative assignments to the same learner. With the introduction of training periods, administrators only need to remember one rule: that a learner will not be assigned the same content more than once in a single training period. This means multiple administrators can assign courses independently without having to coordinate with each other to ensure learners don't receive duplicate assignments unintentionally. Or if you have a new hire and you hire them in January and you do your annual compliance training in March, that same learner will not get the course twice in the same year. Training periods are available now and can be utilized by your organization. The feature does require Everfi to activate to ensure that your organization is ready to switch to the new logic. If you're interested in learning more, We'll be sending out information in the follow-up email. We will also be sharing the instructions regarding how to activate the feature for your organization. We're very excited about these enhancements and believe they'll make a major impact in your use of the platform. There are, of course, more platform updates coming in 2021, which we'll continue to share as we approach those release dates. Everfi not only focused on the technology in 2020, but the content as well. The next portion of the presentation will focus on the course updates for the first half of 2021. In 2020, Everfi reviewed the library of courses and prioritized the refresh of each course, determining what enhancements needed to be made and when. There were two types of enhancements that we made to courses. Not all courses got both types of enhancements. We made course technology improvements and content enhancements. The first type of enhancement you may see in a course is what we call a course technology enhancement. With the improvement of the technology our courses are built on, we were able to ensure that courses are mobile first, have a modern course design, they're configurable, and accessible. We understand that not every learner may be accessing our courses through a desktop or a laptop. By creating mobile-first courses, learners are able to access the information via mobile or tablet when they need to. The next update was the modern course design. While reviewing the courses, we wanted to ensure that the look and the feel of the courses was fresh and innovative. It is important that learners connect to the content, but also the look and feel to maintain their interest in the course. One piece of feedback that we often get from learners is that they would like the course to feel more like it's tailored to their organization. To that end, we proactively added more customization options to our refresh courses. Many of the courses include options in addition to a standard welcome letter, welcome video, or survey questions that you currently utilize. The configuration options vary by course, but there are definitely more options available per course. These customization options are a great opportunity for you to include senior leadership and administration within the course. These configurations are optional, and it's up to you if you wish to use them. If you decide not to use a particular page, it will not appear in the course, and the learners will skip right to the next piece of content. Finally, Everfi is deeply committed to ensuring that all learners are able to access and experience our digital learning courses. Everfi's solutions are designed to be accessible under the Americans with Disabilities Act, Sections 504 of the Rehabilitation Act, and the accessibility standards set forth by the W3C's Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, or WCAG 2.0. While we do not fully conform to WCAG 2.0 Level A and Level AA, we are modifying our procedures and frameworks in 2021 to better enable our solutions to meet these technical standards. Together, all of these technology improvements allow for an improved learner experience while inside the course. So which courses were refreshed so far with technology enhancements? On the screen, you'll see the list of courses that were refreshed in 2020. If the course is in your current contract, these courses are available to you for use now. We will be sharing how to access the new courses and any action steps that may be required on your part in our follow-up email. The second type of enhancement we made in 2020 was content enhancements. There were 3 courses that did receive more than just the technology update: Preventing Harassment and Discrimination, formerly known as Harassment and Discrimination Prevention, Code of Conduct, and Accommodating People with Disabilities, formerly known as Accommodating Disabilities. Much like the Harassment and Discrimination Prevention course, Preventing Harassment and Discrimination, or PhD as I like to call it, was built for flexibility. Everfi's PhD course provides corporate, not-for-profit, and higher education institutions with a tool to build organizational and institutional cultures that promote respect and professionalism, thereby preventing harassment and discrimination. This course is designed for both non-supervisory employees and supervisory employees. The difference here is that you will see role-based versioning of the course instead of one version of the course. This allows organizations who promote their employees from non-supervisor to supervisor to track the assignment of each version of the course. For the Code of Conduct course, Everfi did an analysis by looking at course usage and deployments to determine the topics that were most commonly used by audiences in the markets that we serve. We worked with a third party to audit the legacy courses to determine which topics were most relevant and had potential to maintain relevancy and thus should be brought into a rebuild. You'll notice there are 7 new modules, and you can still deploy each module individually or the course as a whole. The Accommodating People with Disabilities course was redesigned to be more inclusive. As you can see by the name itself, additional person-first language throughout the course was added. There's also US and California specific content within the course. And then finally, there is an additional dedicated section for the higher education market that includes student accommodations and student privacy. The final content update that I will share is the refresh of our diversity course. This year, we are heavily investing in our diversity and inclusion courses. Everfi already offers training for students and for employees, which introduces topics like diversity, inclusion, respect, and allyship. This year, we are reapproaching this topic with 3 new courses, one for students, one for employees, and one for organizational leaders. These new courses draw from the latest research in the field and include new topics like anti-racism. These courses emphasize personal reflection and skill building to help build cultures of belonging for all members of your community. These courses will be available in the later part of 2021, but please reach out to your account manager if you'd like additional information. The final section of the webinar today is to review the updates and enhancements surrounding your experience as an administrator with the Everfi products. There's a lot of information available to you as an administrator and to keep you informed regarding how the platform works and new features and products. The first resource available to you is our Resource Center. The Resource Center is your one-stop shop for all information Everfi. The Resource Center is broken down into sections. The first 2 are the Resource Library and the Administrator Knowledge Base. The Resource Library is where you can find the listing of all courses, along with course details including maps, compliance guides, and much more. The Administrator Knowledge Base is where you'll find the how-to articles. The articles will include videos, screenshots, and step-by-step instructions regarding how to use the platform. An example might be how to add a user or how to assign a course. We have a dedicated team that updates these articles on a regular basis, as well as creating new content to ensure that you have everything you need to be successful without the help of someone from our team. The other sections of the Resource Center provide you information regarding your support experience. As you can see from this webinar, we've made many feature and product updates and will continue to do so. While we hope to share this information more frequently, we also want to ensure that you can find the information you need when you need it. Within the Resource Center, you will find a section for platform updates. This is where we will include the release notes every 2 weeks for any customer-facing updates. So any changes you may see within the platform, you will see in the release notes. So you can check that for updates. The status page can be referenced for system-wide outages. On the rare occasion that Everfi has an outage, be it with a course or the platform, we will be posting the status on this page. Administrators can reference this page if they've received frequent inquiries from learners to check here before submitting their own ticket. The status page will provide details regarding the issue, the resolution, and the root cause. Finally, within the Resource Center, you can track your support tickets. This will allow you to see what tickets you as an administrator have opened, but also have a historical reference to any cases you've previously submitted. All of these areas have been added or enhanced to ensure that you have the information at your fingertips. And in our follow-up email, we'll be providing quick links, which I recommend bookmarking for future reference. While this concludes the update portion of today's webinar, I do want to highlight that the goal of this webinar is to keep our customers informed. You can expect to see more communications from Everfi regarding these type of updates as 2021 continues. We hope the information was helpful to you, and as always, we welcome your feedback regarding how we can continue to improve. As Craig mentioned, following the webinar, you will receive a survey so that we can collect that feedback. To end today, I'd like to open the floor to some question and answers. So please feel free to type your questions into the chat feature, and I'll address them as they come in. Okay, we did have one question, and it's probably a piece of feedback come in, and I wanted to address it because we actually did make an enhancement here. So the area of concern for the organization was regarding assignment deadlines, and when a password was created, I'm guessing you're not using email to log in, that the password no longer was available because the learner hadn't changed it quick enough, which caused some reset work on the customer admin side. If you're using what we call alternative login, so you're not using email address to log in for your users, you've created a username and created a password for them. We did have a 30-day password where they had to reset it within that time frame. That actually was extended to 90 days. So learners now have 90 days from the creation of their account to reset their password. We didn't want to elongate that too much for security purposes, but we do hope that that gives you a little bit more time to provide the learner access to the course and make sure that they log in and change their password. Wonderful. There's a question that came in around, do you plan to release training for managers? So soft skill training on how to be a manager. We don't have anything slated currently. That is something that our product team would be working on. If I have your email and your name here, so I'll be sure to check into that further for you to see if there's any other courses that we'll be developing and have your account manager reach out to you with more information. It's a great question. So we had another great question from Sandy. She said, we did switch over to Foundry in September of 2020. However, how would we know if the courses we have been updated and if we're using the newest version? So in our follow-up email, there's going to be a section about the 2021 library refresh, and there will be a list of the courses with their old name and their new name. There's also a visual way to tell if you have the new version of the course. If you go to your content library, if you look in your content library and you're seeing a kind of gray Everfi logo, that would be a legacy version of the course, versus if you're seeing an image of a person at a computer or maybe people in an office setting, that would be the updated courses. All of that information is in the follow-up email, and there's also instructions on how to get access to the new versions of the courses as well. All right. Another piece of feedback from somebody, we experienced that the content on Foundry was much longer than the previous platform. Was the content reviewed and adjusted? So that's another great question. My guess is that you're referring to the Preventing Harassment and Discrimination course, and that course has gotten feedback regarding the length of the course. Part of that is due to compliance requirements. Some states require a certain length of time, so that's not something that we can adjust. However, we are working on a shorter version of that course for states that do not require a time compliance portion of it. It's a great question. There's a great question in here about, is there a way to not have an assignment due date? So Everfi has looked at the idea of elective learning. So the way the platform works now, we think of it as assigned learning. You have an assignment and you must complete it by a certain date. There are courses that don't have a compliance requirement, like diversity, that you may just want to offer to your employees and not have a due date specifically on them. That's something that we are exploring. It's not something currently that we have on the roadmap. My recommendation for that is to make an assignment and put the due date out to the end of the calendar year, and then slow the frequency of reminders so that it's always on their dashboard, but it's not something that they're being reminded of on a regular basis. That way you'll have access to the course, but it's not a requirement. Okay, there was another question in regards to the assignment update. Will it now allow you to add courses to your initial assignment rather than having to delete the entire assignment and recreate it to include your additions? Currently, the courses are not a piece that you can update. It is something that the team has looked at adding, and it may be an addition later on. However, adding courses to people who have already completed the course causes a problem with those people that have completed it. So we're looking into that, but there are ways with the new training period to make it so that you don't have to delete an entire assignment and assign it to the same people who maybe have already completed it. And I can follow up, Jen, with you on that and how to do that to make your flow a little bit easier as well. Another question around, how are we informed when newer courses are added later in 2021? And does this come from your Everfi representative? So part of this webinar presentation is to ensure that you know that those courses were refreshed. Our goal with the courses that are coming in 2021, because we do have courses that we're refreshing, is to email out that communication and allow you to make the change at that time. We wanted to, because we had such a large number of courses in 2020, we wanted to wait until they were all refreshed and then have this webinar to make the announcement, and we'll send follow-up emails to allow you to move over to the new courses. If your Everfi representative has been informed that you are looking for new content, or if there was an issue with the content you were using, they may have communicated the new courses as well a little bit earlier if you've been, speaking with them in your monthly meetings or maybe quarterly meetings. But we do hope in 2021 to send out the email communications as the new courses release on a more regular cadence. All right, these are all great questions. Please feel free to continue them. Looks like we've slowed down a little bit. All right. Well, I don't see any questions coming in. I will stay on the line for more questions if people have them, so feel free to type them into the chat. Please feel free to complete the survey in the follow-up. We will be sending the recording along with our email. There'll be a landing page overviewing everything that we've covered, and also ways for you to raise your hand, so to speak, if you need to move to the new courses or move to the new training period logic. So please, at this time, feel free to drop off of the webinar. We're so thankful that you joined us, and we hope this information was helpful. But if you have questions, feel free to stay and ask those as well. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope that you have a great day. All right, I don't see any questions coming in, so I'm going to close out the webinar. Thank you again so much, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.